Hello Nicola, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. Thank you very much for asking me. No, it's great to be able to talk about this stuff.
Yeah. Can you just say a few words about yourself and what you're doing?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Dr. Nicola Gregory. I'm a principal academic in psychology at Bournemouth University in the UK, which is on the south coast. And my research has typically been about social cognition, social attention, in people with social anxiety, autism, and without. But more recently, I've been doing research about how we process non-verbal cues in horses and emotions. So looking at psychological impacts or human psychological traits that might influence how we process horses.
Cool. And actually here at Understand Horses Lives, you've been doing part of your research, recruiting people to participate in this study you're conducting. Can you explain what it is and how relevant it is to the equine industry?
Yeah, sure. So I use eye tracking in my research. So this means we can follow where people's attention lies. And what's really interesting about eye tracking is that most of the time our eyes are moving without our conscious awareness. So although we may think we know what we're looking at, we're not always we're not the best judges of that subjectively. So we can use an eye tracker to objectively measure where someone's looking. And this means this is the information the brain is getting at any one moment. So what we've been doing this weekend and what we did last year at Understand Horses was ask horse enthusiasts, so everyone here is a horse enthusiast, which is a perfect place to do the research, is to ask them to look at horse faces with varying levels of emotion, different types of intensity and different levels, and ask people to just think about how that horse is feeling in terms of emotion and pain levels, and then while at the same time we're measuring where they're looking on the face. So what we're really interested in is to try to find out which cues are getting the priority, so where are people looking, which cues are being ignored perhaps, and how this relates to how accurate people are in judging the emotions. Yeah,
super interesting.
And how horse experience in terms of how long people have been around horses, how that influences their where they look, and B, how good they are at them recognising emotion.
So practically, do I understand this right, that it means that both for teaching or for people trying to teach themselves, the result of this research would help them to understand what they're ignoring and what they would need to pay better attention to in order to recognize their emotion properly? Yeah,
that's exactly right. So because we're not always aware of what we're looking at and what we're not looking at, and we might have the wrong perception of what we're doing, when we've analysed this research, we can say, okay, so especially perhaps non-experienced people or less experienced people might not be paying attention to the cues which are really pivotal, and that the people who are more accurate are paying attention to more cues, this particular cue perhaps, and this is the reason it seems to be statistically related to how well they are then judging that emotion accurately. We just don't know, and so that people will be aware of pain ethograms and things, facial pain ethograms. So they're brilliant, but the brain is kind of wired to look at certain things, and it may be that we're missing some of these cues. Even though someone says you need to look at this, this and this, we may not be doing that because the brain is just not geared up to do that.
Interesting. Can people participate online?
Absolutely. So although the eye tracking part has to be done in person, so this is why I'm here this weekend. The second part of the study, which is looking at the psychological traits and ratings of pain, absolutely, we're going to make that available online so people can take part anywhere in the world.
Awesome.
Whether they're horse enthusiasts and got experience or not, it's open to anyone, because we're really interested in how that level of experience relates to abilities.
I'll definitely take part in the online part.
Thank you, that's brilliant.
Last question. We often hear people say, we don't need all of that research because we're on the ground, we see people, the researchers, they're not on the ground with the horses, they don't understand it. What's your take on that, and why do you think equine research is actually so important? It's
incredibly important because, and what surprised me when I came to it as a researcher from a human psychology background, was how little research has been done in terms of how we as humans process horses. That we know quite a lot about how horses process each other. We know more about how horses process us, but the other way round, we just don't know. So although people say, it's common sense, unfortunately common sense is not really a thing.
It's bias,
that doesn't exist. And humans are so incredibly varied, and that's what we know from psychology research about how we process other people. we are so varied and we process things in such a different range of ways that this is going to still be the case when we are interacting with our horses and our clients, human clients as well. So we do need to take into account some of these things, because we can't just assume everyone's the same.
Yeah, for sure.
We're not.
Where can people find you if they want to chat about your research or know more about what you're doing?
Oh yeah, great, thank you. Yeah, so one way is LinkedIn, so you can find me, Nicola Gregory, Bournemouth University. So on LinkedIn, do connect with me, love talking about horses and research. And the other way is you can email me directly if you want, so I'm ngregory@bournemouth.ac.uk. I'm sure you'll put that in the notes.
Yeah, I definitely will do.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you, Colleen.